Calf, Piglet, and Chicky at Our Table, a vegan children's book, self-published on Amazon and Kindle. In memory of all animals that lived with us as friends, but became our food. Martin, Rosa, and their parents lived in a rainy, fertile city. They would go to restaurants on weekends. Protein is good for you. Make sure you eat lots of protein so you grow big and strong. Do you know what foods have lots of protein? Asked Father. Pork, chicken, fish, and shrimp, said Martin. And beef, added Rosa. They loved these foods, and when they ate them, they'd close their eyes and savor the taste. One weekend, after going to a restaurant, they went to Grandfather's farm just outside the city. While the kids were playing on the farm, a cute, mischievous piglet ran after them. He ran, jumped, and played with them. A calf and a chick joined in too. They had fun together. When the time came to go home, the kids found they'd become attached to the animals. Take the piglet home with you and bring him back next time you come, said Grandfather. A house is no place to raise a pig, said Father. But the kids and the piglet were already in the car, and before the kids could close the doors, the calf and the chick jumped in too. They licked the kids' faces and jumped around like dogs. They rubbed the kids' heads like cats. How could Father say no? So the piglet, calf, and chick all went home with them. At first, the animals and kids just ran around and chased each other. Then the animals hid, so the kids had to find them. Slowly, the animals learned to hide in better places and even camouflage themselves. Soon enough, they were playing red light, green light, and other games too. One day, when the kids were exhausted from playing and sat down to watch TV, the animals knocked on the glass door. "Hey, Mom, can the animals come inside?" asked Rosa. "Of course not. They're too dirty," said Mother. So the kids washed them in the tub and taught them how to stay clean. Finally, Mother let them inside. The animals were more interested in the TV than the cat and the dog were. They even acted amused, copying how the kids laughed at silly things, like people falling down or getting hit in the face with a pie. But over time, they started laughing at things the actors said. Do they laugh at their funny faces, or do they actually understand what they're saying? Asked Martin. One day, while Martin was reading a book, he came across a word he couldn't pronounce. Similar, simility, simitalary, said Martin. Suddenly the chick said, similarity. Did you hear what Chicky just said? Gasped Martin. Then the piglet added, similarity means being similar. Did you hear what Piglet just said? Gasped Rosa. Martin and Rosa couldn't believe their ears. Suddenly, the calf said to the kids, sorry. We were planning to find a gentle way of revealing we'd learned to talk. But before the calf could finish her sentence, the kids had run screaming to Mother's room. The animals are talking, yelled the kids, running and shouting over each other. Mother immediately called the hospital. We're not crazy, cried the kids, returning to the living room. They hugged the animals tight, afraid Mother would send them back to Grandfather's farm. Soon, the kids and animals were being carried off in an ambulance together, the kids never letting go of them. Yes, these are signs of a common illness called anthropomorphitis. A person with anthropomorphitis sees similarities between humans and animals where there aren't any, said the hospital psychologist, agreeing with Mother. But what if humans and animals really are similar? Asked the piglet. They spoke. The animals spoke. They're just like us, cried the psychologist. And before anyone could stop him, He ran right out of the hospital and was never seen again. You have to promise me you won't talk to anyone unless I ask you to. Otherwise, the whole city will panic," pleaded Mother, trying to control herself. Father wouldn't believe Mother and the kids. He thought they were trying to fool him. "Do you think we're crazy or have anthropomorphitis?" asked Mother. She turned and asked the animals, "Why don't you say anything?" "You made us promise not to talk unless you asked us to," said the piglet. At first, Father couldn't believe his ears, but then he couldn't stop laughing. He rolled on the floor, laughing and crying at the same time, but eventually he believed he had no other choice. While eating dinner, the animals told the family how the backyard was dark, cold, and scary at night. So the family decided the animals should move into the house. The kids shared their beds with the calf and Piglet temporarily, and the chick slept in Father's old hat. On the weekend, they took the animals to the city. First, they went to a store to buy them some clothes. It was hard for the animals to choose between all the strange choices. And there was absolutely nothing for the chick. The kids offered to take the animals to a restaurant so they could share their favorite foods with them. The parents liked the idea too. The animals were so excited. The only food they'd had since the farm was simple, plain salad. They had no idea the foods the kids were going to show them. "You should try beef. It's so tender, juicy, and delicious. You'll love it," said Rosa. "Of course, pork is even tastier. It's so savory and chewy and pink." "You should try it," said Martin. "Or you can order chicken. It's so light and fresh and it has a nice texture. It's my favorite," said Rosa. She and Martin laughed excitedly. "What's chicken made from? Why is it called that?" asked the chick. "From chicken, of course. Why else would we call it that?" said Martin. "What is beef made from, then?" asked the calf cautiously. "It's made from cows, local and organic," replied Rosa. "Well, then what is pork made from?" asked the piglet. "Pork is made from pigs. It's what we call pig meat," answered Martin. Pig meat? You kill pigs, cows, and chickens and then eat them?" asked the animals all together. The whole table went silent, and everyone looked at each other in their plates. "I'm scared," cried the chick, cautiously kicking the knife away and jumping off the plate. "Run, guys! They want to kill us. They want to eat us," yelled the calf, kicking over the table and making for the exit. "Wait, stop! You're wrong! Let us explain," begged the kids. "What? They want to hurt those poor things? That's terrible. I'm calling the police." People were in an uproar. The animals ran through the city. Everywhere they saw advertisements for beef, pork, bacon, and chicken. Everywhere they saw people in restaurants chewing and eating what they now knew were the bodies of animals just like them. And people called it meat. It wasn't long before the animals ran through a red light at an intersection, causing several accidents. Soon after, the family arrived, and the police, guns in hand. "Nobody move! We received a report that someone's been making death threats," yelled the police through a megaphone. No, we don't want to kill them," pleaded Martin as he approached cautiously, trying not to alarm the animals or police. "Don't believe them! They want to eat us!" cried the animals, backing away. The police turned their guns on Martin and Rosa. "You too! Hands up!" Onlookers gathered in the intersection. "We don't eat our friends," said Rosa. "You eat chickens. You said so yourself," accused the chick. "Chickens for food, not you," replied Martin. "You kill pigs and use them for food," yelled the piglet. "Farm pigs, not you," replied Rosa. We're all farm animals. What's the difference?" cried the calf shakily. "Now I know why my father and uncle left and never came back. The police turned their guns on the animals." "What? You broke out of an animal farm? Fugitives! Arrest them!" Just then, people dressed in black jumped in front of the police, holding each other's hands and making a chain around the animals, wearing signs with messages around their necks. Onlookers inched closer with curiosity. "What should we eat if we don't eat animals?" asked a man with a round hat and a big mustache. "Our bodies need protein to grow," said a lady with a baby in her arms. "If we don't eat farm animals, they'll become extinct," said a man wearing glasses with some books in hand. "They want to close our farms and businesses. They want to take away our food. Send the animals to the slaughterhouse." Martin and Rosa didn't understand what was going on, who was right or who was wrong, but they immediately joined the people protecting the animals. "No, we won't let you eat our friends. You mustn't hurt animals." Eventually, the police arrested the animals and returned them to Grandfather's farm. They made Grandfather fill out forms stating he wouldn't allow the animals to leave except to go to the vet or the slaughterhouse. The kids and activists shouted with a megaphone, "Don't hurt animals! Free the animals!" Some of the locals gathered to see why the police and crowd were there. Even a couple of reporters from the local news station and newspaper showed up, interviewing the activists and the police. Mother and Father promised the chick, Piglet, and calf they'd convince Grandfather to never hurt them. They could even live with the family permanently if they agreed to go to school, go to college, get a job, and pay taxes. "But we're not leaving until you release all our animal family and friends," said the chick, Piglet, and calf. "Okay, I'll release the others too. I'll keep them safe. I won't hurt animals anymore, and I won't send any to the slaughterhouse," said Grandfather. "We animals feel pain just like human beings. We have families, friends, and societies. We experience joy, sadness, fear, pain, and love. We don't want to be trapped, hurt, killed, or misused by anyone just like you," explained the calf, Piglet, and chick to hundreds of people who came to visit the freed animals at Grandfather's sanctuary. "I thought it was my job, that I had to go along with it," said Grandfather. "But just because people like something or pay for it or think it's normal, that doesn't mean it's right. Just look at history. Humans used to own other humans too, but then we stopped when we realized it was wrong. But we forgot about animals. Animals deserve to be free too." The animals and kids went one step further. They joined the activists. The activists split into two teams. One team stood in the city streets and showed people footage of what farmed animals' lives truly looked like and of slaughterhouses. The other team talked to the people about the footage, explaining the cruelty and how they could stop it. The animals joined the team that talked to people. People said all kinds of things. "They're made for us to eat them. I like animals. They should be killed humanely. It's horrible, but we can't do anything about it." But the animals and activists always had a response. "Would you butcher an animal with your own hands? What's the difference between your dog and the animals you eat? Have you heard of veganism? Don't you see the similarity between you and me? We're both animals. What are your reasons for not eating animals? And how do you share your reasons with others?" Follow the adventures of Martin and Rosa to see what they learn about animal rights and how their choices change. Please share this video with others to help animals and make good friends. You can order this book from Amazon.com or Kindle application. Also, please don't forget to write a review on Amazon.com and introduce it to others.